Alrighty guys, we're back for Azorius Outlaws, and this is an Outlaws at Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We got 3 double down in here, so it's a 4 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast an Outlaw spell, copy that spell. Neat. What kind of Outlaws do we have packed in? Well, first of all, every creature in here is in fact an outlaw. Also, we have a little pirate theme going on. We do have Staunch Crewmate here as a 4 of. A 2 mana 2/1. When it ETBs, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or pirate card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When you're rocking Crewmate, of course it matters how many pirates you actually have packed in. And in this build in particular, we do have 15 total pirates, so hopefully we're not missing on the Crewmate too often. Other pirates packed in, Kitesail Larcenist, kind of acting as the main piece of removal in the deck. I have a top-end pirate, Zephyr Singer, 4 mana, 3/4 with Convoke. So our creatures can help cast this spell. It does have flying and vigilance as well. And then Singer enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on each creature that convoked it. Nice. So a lot of the creatures in here already have some form of evasion, but there's definitely creatures that we wouldn't mind putting a flying counter on, which we'll go over in just a second as I want to finish going over the other pirate in here. All for Spyglass Siren. Yep, it's a good one. ETB, get that map token. And that map token really does go a long way. All right, Mage's Attendant made the cut as a 4 of. It's a 3 mana, 3/2, and when it ETBs, you put a 1/1 blue wizard creature token with 1 mana, sacrifice this creature, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. Dude, Mage's Attendant is like one of those cards that you look at and you're just like, wait a minute, shouldn't this be good? Yeah, I think it should be. Just one of those things, man. Standard power level or something. Like, why have we just never seen this? I've played with it a few times in the past, a few different cat decks and stuff too. This time it's in here because it's a rogue, and I think doubling down on Mage's Attendant would be huge because you get 2 attendants, 2 wizards, and at that point, the wizards are blue. You could totally tap all 4 of those creatures for that Singer's Convoke and put a flying counter on all of them. That would be a really powerful line of play. While we're finishing up going over the top end, we might as well wrap it up here with Extraction Specialist as a 1 of. Interested to see how much this is actually going to do today. Some other outlaws that we have packed in, we have Suspicious Stowaway. Just another one of those cards that is just like, we really never got to see this too often. This is a 2 mana, 1/1. It can't be blocked. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, then discard a card. Has daybound, nightbound, so when it is nighttime, when it deals combat damage to a player, you just straight up draw that card and you don't got to discard anything. Pretty solid, man. I like it. More outlaws. We have a couple hopeful initiates, which has proven itself time and time again. It's going to be good in here as well. We have all 4 Nurturing Pixies as well. A 1 mana, 1/1 with flying. When it ETBs, you return up to 1 target non-fairy, non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If a permanent was returned this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on Nurturing Pixie. So potentially giving us the ability to go ahead and get some of those ETB effects going again, or just a double down, right? Bounce an outlaw or an essential outlaw back to your hand, and then play it with that double down out there and copy it. Seems pretty cool, doesn't it? So I wanted a way to go ahead and buff wide for this deck, and I actually opted for Requisition Raid, which I totally think is going to do a thing. So for 1 white mana, it is sorcery speed, so we can't do anything too fancy with it, but it has a spree cost. So we get to choose 1 or more additional costs. For the additional cost of 1, you can destroy target artifact. For the additional cost of 1, destroy target enchantment. For the additional cost of 1, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. So, of course, you target yourself. Not half bad, right? I do think this is going to do a thing today. I think there's actually a lot of decks where we might actually get to pop an artifact and an enchantment and maybe just buff our board state as well. All that just for 4 mana. So yeah, a lot of artifacts, a lot of enchantments packed into standard, and they're all powerful. If people are playing with them, then they're strong. We got a little bit more removal here, opting for Soul Partition, because every now and then you're going to target your own creature, and that bottom ability taxes the opponent. It doesn't actually tax you. It's the same concept as the Nurturing Pixie in here, right? You can potentially do this on your own thing to recast it again, get that ETB, and maybe double down on it. Over in the mana base, guys, we do got a couple of Restless Anchorage. I think this is the type of deck that gets absolutely obliterated by board wipes, so having just extra ways through after the opponent wipes the board is going to be important. opting for the fast land too with the Waste and the Coast, and we still have a Deserted Beach packed in because I think that the mana is going to be a little greedy at times. Soaring City, Seat of the Empire. No honorable mentions today. Definitely let me know in the comments what should have at least been in the honorable mentions, or what did I miss for this list. Okay, I like to go ahead and try my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. Let's go. What am I expecting from the list? I have no clue, man. It should be pretty janky, though. But it also might prove itself here and there. Look at this. Double down in the first hand of the evening. We go first, too. Oh, buddy, we keep this. It's beautiful. And we will start with the Siren. That map token on things that can't be blocked, we already know that's pretty strong because we see Siren being played in artifact builds. All right, let's go for Island. Well, guess we'll start with the swing, and then we'll play the Stowaway because I guess that's good practice. Yeah, we're going to have enough mana for the double down. Depending on what happens next turn, it's probably going to be Restless Anchorage. Switches to Night. Ooh. All right, I'm going to save the map token for now then, because we're going to try to get that werewolf through. We do. We get that draw. Going to be more land. Ew. Okay. This is a little bit of a flood. I believe we have 23 total mana in here. We'll get that down. I suppose we'll activate the map token now. See what's on top. I guess if we started with the map token, it's going to be more mana. Oh, dear. That's not good. That's 8 mana total, guys. Synthesizer. Hey, we have ways to deal with you in here, actually. Oh, nice. Hopefully we can deal fast. Okay, Staunch Crewmate. Do we take the turn to set up? It's kind of what the opponent did. Took the turn to set up. We'll get the island down that was already revealed. I guess we start with the draw. I'm pretty sure it's going to be double down this turn, though. All right, Nurturing Pixie. Oh, that could be interesting. All right, double down. This is going to be sick, dude. And it's probably unlikely that we see more mana off the top, so... All right, here comes the synthesizer. Oh, buddy, the Thousand Moon Smithy also generating a construct. All right, so... What do we want to do here? We swing for 3, get the opponent down to 10. I guess we can start with the land. We can start with Crewmate. We can start with the draw. Like, how much affects combat here is the big question, you know what I mean? I guess we start with the draw again over the Crewmate. I guess that makes sense. On us down to 10. Another double down? No, I don't think we do that. Do we? Maybe we do. Another turn of setup, get the initiate down? But that gives, I mean... It's... The initiate doesn't have evasion, so maybe it would just be Pixie. Bounce the Siren at least. Pixie gets a counter, and then we get another flyer back anyway. Two extra flyers, actually. I guess getting the flyers down would make the most sense over the initiate. Since the initiate doesn't have the evasion to get around these huge constructs. Alright, so Pixie number 1. And we will bounce the Spyglass Siren. And then the other 2 Pixies can just be 1/1s. Totally fine. Submit 0. Submit 0, unless I want to bounce a double down, which that doesn't make much sense to me. Oh, and it flips back to daytime too, so that's a little bit less damage from the Stowaway as well. I'll tell you what, 2 double downs established on the board. We're going to put up one heck of a fight here. Worst case scenario would be the opponent finds a way to start gaining life, which I suppose in Bant colors is very possible that they have some amount of life gain packed in. A card that we've been seeing more of is actually that Cornucopia card that I can't remember the full name of right now. That's terrifying. Do we take the 14? Chump while we have the chump? I guess we chump 1 while we have the chump, because next turn there's going to be 3 swinging in. We're still going to need to keep a chump blocker open, but we should have enough of them. 2. We got 4 on this board. That's getting through then. 5. Okay, no blocks. Let's take the 14 and just rely on our chump blockers next turn to block huge constructs. Mage's Attendant. Oh, buddy. Hello. Hi. Speaking of chump blockers, huh? This is going to be sick. So we can successfully get this plains down. No worries there. And we could start with the swing. Or we could go crewmate. Crewmate first. Here onto the top of the build. I suppose we'll start with crewmate. See if we can find some pirates here. It's gonna be crazy, dude. We're gonna have so many creatures. Spyglass Siren. All right. See, these extra sirens, we could get extra... we missed that one. We could get extra map tokens. Larcenist. All right. Dude, Larcenist takes care of the synthesizer. But the Mage's Attendant, though. And what if they just play another synthesizer? I guess Larcenist. Double down. This is... this is going to be a lot, man. Let's turn that Power Stone into a treasure, first of all. And hit their synthesizer. Larcenist. Let's do... let's get some more... Let's turn one of our crewmates. Let's hit the... I don't even know. I don't even know, man. Let's get the Thran Spider out of the blocking equation since it has reach, right? Then the third one, we'll just take one of the constructs. Yeah, triple Larcenist. That's brutal, dude. Oh, you know what? We should probably slow down because board wipes probably exist in this build. So actually, I am going to hit the crewmate again here. And let's take one of the constructs out. Thousand Moon Smithy. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine to keep that, I think. I hope. This is a lot. A lot's going on right now. We still have the Attendant for the turn, but now I'm afraid to play more. I'm just going to hold it all back, actually. I'm terrified of a board wipe. Because if we have a board wipe, we're going to need to... Oh, we also could have powered up the Restless Anchorage because we have enough treasure. But when they wipe the board, our extra Larcenists are protecting some of our creatures here. Another Larcenist. All right, let's get rid of the Seachrome Coast. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hold it all back, guys. I think we have enough on this board that if they don't wipe the board, like they're at 5, they're in danger, especially since we protected 2 crewmates. 2 crewmates, we can drop our Spyglass Sirens, use all of the map tokens to buff the crewmates too, so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here. So the Thousand Moon Smithy, looks like they are going to go for the tapping. They power it up. It is now Barracks of the Thousand. So whenever they use this to cast an artifact or creature, they get an extra little gnome soldier. Nice. Very cool. But we have so much on this board. For each player, choose a creature. Oh, there's their board wipe. But they're still at 5. So again, like Restless Anchorage, where we got the crewmates coming back here too. These are tapped down because they tapped it for the barracks. Enigma Jewel. All right. Hey, good game, opponent, buddy. I hope you don't mind that I play this out fully. They do mind, in fact. We wanted to play it out fully just in case. Like, if I would have, like, rushed through and swung, then technically, like, this could have been, what, like an Elspeth Smite or something, and then the opponent would still be in it. I was going to get Siren down. I was going to pop a map token until we didn't have enough mana to power up Anchorage. Or until we still had enough, right? like just enough, and then powered up Anchorage after popping the map tokens. Yeah, I was going to fully play it out just in case. GG opponent. Taking out a synthesizer deck feels great. Getting to double our Outlaws that much in the first game, too. Like, I mean, you just can't ask for much more outside of that. I played some test games with a little bit of a different version of this list. This is one of those lists where, like, I felt the test games were going to be absolutely necessary, and thank goodness I did. A lot of options. This is a solid hand, dude. That's a good curve. Yeah, that's a terrific curve, because if they find some removal, Extraction Specialist will really help out too. Well, not if everything gets exiled by etching, but still. Still a really good curve, I would say. Alright, Siren, get that map token. Codebreaker, very nice. Right, no blocks. Well, maybe we should have chumped while we had the chump, because now next turn etching flips, and if we chump it gets exiled, so the specialist won't bring it back. Been seeing a lot of mana. Alright, Stowaway's gonna come down. Save the chump blockers. You know what? I guess not, actually. We'll get that swing. Start poking through. Specialists, lifelink might be pretty good. Charming Scoundrel. Alright. Wicked Roll. Very nice. So that mountain, you guys suppose it's a monstrous rage? Probably. Oh, some spot removal for the Suspicious Stowaway. It's actually going to be a shock, too. Which tells us they have probably all 4 Play With Fires and maybe a shock or 2 extra. Down to 8. We are in some serious danger here, guys. Unfortunately, that exile really is brutal for our poor one-of Specialist. So we have the Singer if we convoke. Could keep Seat of the Empire open. Try something there. Maybe. Being at 8, the Singer isn't even going to block really well, is it? If we play Specialist, it could immediately get picked up anyways. This is going to be rough, man. I'm just going to go Specialist to have as many blockers. And I think we're dead. I think this is the turn. The opponent gets the rest of the damage through. Especially with that prowess on the Codebreaker, too. If we don't... They do find the Lightning Strike for the Specialist, and we shouldn't be that surprised by that. Alright. Now it comes down to where do we want to chump block? I guess, of course, the biggest thing. But then Monstrous Rage would end the game anyways. I guess we'll see. Okay, Monstrous Rage was not the last card in hand, but going down to 4... is not great. Stowaway, and I suppose the Singer comes down. Yeah, overall, Singer's a pretty good blocker. If we would have played Singer last turn instead of the Specialist, it wouldn't have been hit by the Lightning Strike, which is definitely noteworthy, right? Since it's a 3-4. Go ahead, power up that Foundry. We get a good block into the Codebreaker, and we'll drop the opponent the GG. Just one of those things, man. It's still good that we're seeing different versions of Mono Red floating about. I mean, Mono Red is everywhere, but I have been seeing a good variety of different types of Mono Red. Like, not all of them run Fugitive Codebreaker, for example, right? Not all of them run Mishra's Foundry. And for that matter, not all of them run Shock, too. So, yeah. Mono Red's in just such a great position to be able to kind of build it however you want to build it, and it's probably going to be pretty decent, you know? All right, let's keep the ball rolling. I mean, we had such a terrific curve in that last hand. I can imagine we're going to continue to draw pretty well, as I think the deck's curve in general is pretty beautiful. So we'll see, we'll see. Okay, we go first this time, and Specialist might actually be able to do a thing here too. if our early cards don't get exiled first. Yeah, if I would have blocked in a different order in that last game, maybe there could have been something, because they would have removed Specialist, but we would have brought that 1/1 back that we would have blocked with earlier. Got an extra map token. Kamano, are you kidding me? My poor Specialist. Well, we'll see if it could do a thing. Get that crewmate down. Hey, do we just grab another crewmate? No, I'll grab a Spyglass Siren. That way we have the option to play 2 creatures next turn instead of 1. Okay, Mountain comes down. Fugitive Codebreaker. Hold up. Hold up now. This is the same opponent. I never look at the opponent's names. I mean, I'd gladly take that trade. I'll gladly. Yeah, sorry opponents. I don't know who I fought in the last one. All right, before anything else, I guess we get the other crewmate back and start establishing lifelink damage with the Specialist if they pop it, and we still have another creature. That's pretty good, man. I like it. Let's do it. Ooh, Singer. Number 2. These could be really good. They convoke creatures play well off of each other, so especially if we start going wide with the Attendant too. Okay, they're looking at their etching. They're going to put an Ancestral Anger on it. That's a 3/2 with Trample. I'll gladly trade into that if that's what they're going to offer for the turn. Or maybe they wanted the draw for the extra mana. I mean, like I said, I will gladly take that trade. Demonic Ruckus was plotted, and they still have a mountain open. Monstrous Rage, it's still a trade. But they do, so we gained the 3. All right. Not bad for us, guys. It really isn't. Soaring City is going to come down as a land. We're going to go Spyglass Siren into Mage's Attendant into the Singer. This is actually pretty wild, dude. That's pretty good, man. They all go into the air, and this is a lot of air power. This is math. Okay, well, we got 2 here. That's 3. That's 10 damage in the air. Hey, speaking of air power, Godric coming down with Menace on the Demonic Ruckus gets right through. That's scary. We're at 13, so I suppose we could easily die. It's probably Larcenist for the turn then. We'll play this. We'll go for the swing. Full swing. I'm crazy like that. Let's do it. Oh, Vigilance on the Singer, too, is going to be really good for us. Either way, Larcenist. And we will go map token, get the crewmate. Sure. And then Godric. Get that out of the equation. GG opponent. That was something else, huh? First of all, we were offered some really good trades. The trades were awesome in our favor, I would say, overall. And then we just established. And we established really fast. So we took the Godric out of the equation there. We're about to use that treasure, or the map token that we turned into a treasure, get the crewmate down as well, just to continuously go wide. Because against mono red, they don't have too much to deal with that, unless you're up against the very specific version of mono red that runs End the Festivities, which we just don't really see at all, really, anymore. I don't know the last time I've seen End the Festivities outside of maybe my own build that we played a few months back. Might have been more than a few months back, actually, dude. It's been a while. Of course, don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain the last time we've seen End the Festivities being played, but... All right. The Restless Anchorage being tapped kind of holding us up here a little bit, but we have a really good lineup overall that I'm not going to worry about. Maybe I actually just start with that then. Yeah, maybe our turn 2. I was thinking like turn 1 Siren, turn 2 Stowaway. That wouldn't be bad. Okay, there's an untapped white source actually. Anyways, but if we do it like this, our turn 2 Siren, then get the Pixie, then bounce the Siren, we'll get that ETB on the Siren again. Or we could keep Siren on the board and just bounce the map and just use that. No. No, I'm gonna stay on task here because the map could give us even more counters onto the Pixie. Was that good? Or was that unnecessary? Golgari. Ew. Okay. Let's get this island. Double down's a good draw. Okay, start with the swing. We'll get the Siren and the Stowaway. How often does Golgari run board wipes? Not really sure right now. The board wipes that they would run would probably be the 5 mana mono black board wipe that we see every now and then. Calls Vampire on the Cavern. Swings with the Dread Knight. We take the 3. Okay, Preacher of the Schism comes down. Yeah, luckily we have a lot of evasion here. Take the turn to set up for the double down. Preacher of the Schism, this is a great target for Seat of the Empire. We could start by trading out one of the raids, but we could also play this and play both of the raids. That would be an extra 6 total damage. Maybe we just set up with the double down because that's what the deck is trying to do. Like that's like the fun thing. We could also just pass it back, try to take out the Preacher of the Schism with the Seat of the Empire. Hopefully initiate. Okay, let's do the double down thing, huh? A lot of options. A lot of options for us those turns. So hopefully Initiate doesn't have the evasion. For now, maybe we'll see a Singer off the top. Either way, with the double down, we'll get double Initiates, and then maybe we buff the board state. Yeah, getting rid of one of the raids kind of feels bad because both of them kind of felt like they could do the thing well enough there. They get the 1/1 Vampire. Call for Phyrexian. Sheoldred comes down. Alright, that could be a problem. Down to 10. Crewmate. Nice. Good, because we're going to need chump blockers here. Start with Crewmate for sure. See what we see. Crewmate number 1. Woo, Larcenist. Alright. Maybe we just grab Crewmate number 2 though instead. It's still going to be Initiate and Map token for the turn. I guess Larcenist would be the best bet for next turn. And Spyglass Siren, nice. Okay, well then, I guess Spyglass Siren then. Going wide. Dude, this Requisition Raid could be huge. Okay, and then I guess I should have attacked first. Oops. Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Yeah, let's swing. Because the Stowaway's ability. Oh, Siren again. Okay. We can't play the Siren for now. I'm actually gonna discard the Siren then and get the Initiate down. Oh, crap. Shieldred Punish. We're fine. Everything's fine. Alright, nice and wide. I can't wait to buff this board state next turn. Although we are going to be forced to chump, for sure. Where do we want to chump? The Trample on the Dread Knight, probably just going to let that through regardless. Keeping a 2/2 on this board or anything above the Initiate's power on the board to get that training is going to be pretty good. On next turn, if we go for +1/+1 counters, we'll still have 2 mana available for some extra map tokens too. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good as long as the opponent doesn't wipe this board. We do know that they're gonna, if they do swing at the 1/1, they do get a little bit of life gain there. They go for that full swing. Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. They get the draw on the Preacher, so they actually gain 1 there too. So they're gonna go back up really nicely here. Extra damage there or extra air power? Probably extra air power since I plan on buffing everything anyways. If we block here, we can't take 6. We cannot take 6. Because we're going to be taking 2 from the Shieldred when we draw next turn. So I guess 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. That's fine because the crewmate still might get through on the ground. It's a tough decision. Take 4, I guess. All right. So we're chumping twice. Taking 4. We're going to be drawing 1. Opponent's back up to that 14. And they still got 4 mana available, guys. Yeah, some spot removal could be huge for them. They were going through our creatures, maybe looking for the best one to remove, or maybe they were just counting real quick, right? See, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Initiate's buff, that's 11. And then they don't know we have this Requisition Raid in hand, which is going to be a counter for all of them. 7 creatures total. Okay, so we get the draw. They have 5 mana open. Okay, mana. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat right now. We don't know what this could be, guys. If we do this, we will not have the Restless Anchorage. But it is what it is. We'll check in their board state. All right. We will have 3 map tokens, though. Double checking how the map tokens read to make sure it's not drawing, right? You put that card into your hand if it's a land. It doesn't say draw that card. So that's pretty important. We completely play it out, I suppose, right? So we'll buff wide, hopefully. We see mana, it is what it is. All right, crewmate. Continue to buff wide. And we don't know what's in hand. We're going for that full swing this turn, either way. And those are going to buff each other. So I guess we'll buff the... I guess just any of them. Because they all have the same amount of power. Opponent did not concede. I am very concerned. They go for the throw on the biggest guy. Yep. Full swing. Is it going to be more? Hey, we got there, guys. Oh my goodness. Taking down Golgari feels great. Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, and ranking up to platinum. Beautiful, right where I like to sit, the bottom of platinum. Sit there nice and pretty. Guys, I'd love to end on a high note, but I'm going to keep going. I mean, honestly, I think we can still end on a high note. But after that one, now I feel overdue for a loss, even though I know we already lost one today. I don't know, it's just one of those things. Now I'm concerned, can we actually top that? I don't know. But it's definitely going to be worth one more game. The deck list is very fun, very cool. Keepable. Yeah, seeing the Larcenist, the Larcenist is like one of those cards. It just makes me feel nice and cozy. I like seeing it in hand. It's just like, I don't know. It's nice. It's how I imagine mono black players that run Shieldred and they get Shieldred in their opener with all the mana they need. You know, it just feels nice. Because Sheoldred just comes down 4 turns too early. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not comparing Larcenist's power level to Sheoldred. I'm just saying it just feels nice to have in hand. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that little rambling made any sense. Also, like, I don't get to play blue too often. I've definitely played a lot more blue in like the last couple months than I've ever played blue, like in my entire life. But like overall, when I'm picking like my favorite blue cards, it has to be like a really just solid creature, you know? Larcenist feels like that card. Start with the swing, get that Attendant down, probably trade out the Wastes. We trade out the Wastes. And Attendant. So far, just forests from the opponent. It could just be a mono green ramp, which could be pretty scary. Definitely need to start going faster if that's the case. Oh, they grab a mountain, though. Spyglass Siren. Okay, we start with Siren. Start with the map token, and then probably play another land and get... And use the other map token, right? Put it on Stowaway. Okie dokies. Do the same thing, right? Hopefully we're not running ourselves into a board wipe here. Very possible against Gruul, man. Gruul ramp especially. Oh no, more land. Restless Anchorage isn't bad though. Nurturing Pixie. Maybe. I mean, it's better than this extra land, right? Soaring City's probably going to be better than Seat of the Empire against a big Gruul list, right? So, at that point too, big Gruul dinos. Top end Atali and some other goodies. With the opponent being at 14, we just have a bunch of little 1/1s poking through. If we see a card that helps us put counters on everything, that's going to be an extra 5 damage. We'd still need 9 more on the board already, and we have 7. So even if we see that off the top, it's not lethal. Bramble Familiar. That's good news because it's not a board wipe. Another Restless Anchorage. So we probably start with the swing and we just don't worry about the extra map tokens and everything, right? This is probably a decent trade for the opponent there, if that's what they want to end up doing. Which I think it's fine for a full swing then. Because if they block the 1/1, then our 3/2 Attendant's getting through at the very least. They also don't know it's in hand. Well, they do block the 1/1, so we are getting the 3 through, which is pretty good. On us down to 8. See what we see? Larcenist. All right. I like the double Larcenist. I'm going to get rid of one of the Restless Anchorage. Hopefully that's an okay decision. We will. Should we save that Larcenist for a bigger creature? Probably, and we don't want to ramp him. So we'll get Restless Anchorage, number 2 down. Pixie. And bounce the Siren. Now do we play around that board wipe, keep Siren in hand? Probably not. We'll just go for it. And while we have the open mana, we'll do the map token too. And we will attempt the map token on the Stowaway. Yeah, with the Bramble Familiar last turn and their decision to keep the Bramble Familiar alive instead of trading it into the Attendant tells me it's probably not a board wipe. Ooh, the Charm. Okay, what do they want to take out here? Depends if they plan on having more blockers on the ground next turn. Oh, they grab a land. They wanted the double mountains, maybe. Because now they have 6 mana. If they play a land, it could be... Well, I guess it depends. Let's see. The fetch quest side of Bramble Familiar is 7 mana. They do not play the 7th mana? Oh, Bramble Familiar also taps for a green. Okay. Nice. Well, taking out the Vaultborn Tyrant. Tyrant, I mean. How much do we got on this board? They're at 11, because they gained 3 here. 1, 2, 3. We have 8 total. So if we power up the Restless Anchorage, that's 3 there. So unfortunately, no legendaries. My apologies, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Let me see. So the island can come down. We probably, if we power up Swing in the Air, up to 3 back here, it's actually less. So 1 mana short from powering up the Anchorage too. We're going to submit. I guess we could still power up the Anchorage if we pop a Spyglass Siren. 1, 2, 3. That's not bad, is it? It's 1 extra damage. 1 extra damage getting through. And a map token as well. Good stuff, man. Opponent's down to 2. Yeah, we get rid of that island. Giving Gruul ramp off the treasure, though, could be really scary. Call Elemental on the Cavern. Elemental would be what? Titan of Industry. Right? Titan of Industry would be good life gain. This is anyone's game, dude. The opponent could easily pull this off, even though it looks like it's leaning towards us. They are considering their options. I'm kind of at the edge of my seat right now. What is it? Smuggler's Surprise. Okay, 2 of their creatures. Oh, Calamity and Terror of the Peaks. Guys, we're gonna die this turn, aren't we? We only have 1 blocker. Bro. Bro, we're dead. We're super dead. They copy Terror of the Peaks twice, and they have the swing on the Stomper as well. Oh no. Good game, opponent. Did I miss 2 damage somewhere along the way here? Look at how much excess damage they had as well. So the opponent took their time. They mathed it out. They knew that they had the lethal. We have to take a look here real quick at that board state again. So these Gruul ramp lists, they have been incredibly explosive. So Smuggler's Surprise, the middle ability here for a green, and then the additional cost of 4 and another green, so only 6 mana. You may put up to 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. The 2 creatures happen to be Calamity, Terror. Tap the Terror for the saddle, double down on the terrors. Just an insane amount of explosive damage. Actually, did they just see it? Because they also could have done that last turn too, and it also would have just completely obliterated us. So maybe they drew one of those off the top. Because yeah, they didn't use the treasure, and they didn't need this extra mana that they played that turn. Good game, opponent. Wow. Yeah, we got the opponent so low there that I'm really wondering if I ended up missing that 2 damage at all. End of video pack? Heck yeah, let's do it. Outlaws at Thunder Junction. What do we got? We got Hell to Pay. Nice, cool. All right, let's go over the deck list one more time. Azorius Outlaws. Dude, cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. Thank you again to the patron for the suggestion. Very fun one. Oh man, double down. It's totally worth taking the turn to establish, because then after that, you're just popping off with all these ETB effects and everything. Got to revisit this in different color combination at some point too, huh? Oh, guys, before I forget, yeah, speaking of the Patreon and everything, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. One of the main benefits from the Patreon, of course, is going to be the patron suggestions. Okay, so what else do I have to say about the build? So the double Restless Anchorage, yep, that's still going to come in handy, although it felt like it held us up a lot today. I'm going to keep the 2 personally, though. Yeah, it holds up some early turns, but overall, like when your deck, when every time you play a creature, you're sitting there thinking, is the opponent going to wipe my board? That's how you know the deck wants like restless lands and stuff. So I think the 2 of is going to be good. This Singer seems pretty sick, dude. I think like any convoke creatures in a list like this is going to be really cool. And Singer, of course, fitting that pirate theme, fitting the outlaw theme. I like this. I like the fact that we can get that Attendant into the air, the Crewmate into the air, the Hopeful Initiate into the air too, and then everything else just already has evasion anyways, except for the Specialist, which, yeah, I think it's still worth the 1 of, I suppose, overall, right? Suspicious Stowaway is really sick. I think all that extra filtering really helped out when we were flooding in a lot of those games. 23 mana felt like too much, but I don't think it's usually going to feel like too much. I think that's just one of those things, like just Magic the Gathering being Magic the Gathering, you know what I mean? Requisition Raid. This is a neat card, man. I got to try this out in other builds. I love the utility that it has on it. The +1/+1 counters on everything just seems really good. I like this. I definitely like it as a 2 of. Yeah. So something for that last game. Did we have any mana open? No, we didn't. We ended up tapping out in that last one. But in that last game, maybe we would have changed the order in which we actually played things if we had like a Soul Partition in hand as well. We also didn't know that the opponent was going to pop off enough to actually just win that turn anyways. We were at what, like -15 at the end, so it would have been pretty hard. But like hitting a Soul Partition on the Calamity before the swing, like that obviously would have saved us too. So, but we tapped out. We didn't know what was in the opponent's hand, all that other stuff. But you know, definitely something to consider. And one of the reasons why Larcenist isn't the only piece of removal in here, having that extra bit of tempo. I actually think the tempo on Soul Partition is actually just huge. It doesn't have to be just destroy that creature. I think that this is still the type of deck where if the opponent has to wait like 2 more turns to play their top end, like that's enough turns for us to establish or just win by then. So yeah, I guess it could be your choice spot removal though, because we didn't get to like showcase the fact that Soul Partition could potentially hit one of our own things. That's going to be rare anyways. So all right, guys. Is there anything else to say about the list? Spyglass Siren, Nurturing Pixie, these are all really cool. Especially if you're getting multiple of these once you have Double Down or 2, right? Yeah, just fitting that outlaw theme. Everything's pretty cool. Hopeful Initiate actually felt a little bit weak today because it didn't have that extra evasion that everything else had. But that's fine when we do have ways to give it the evasion anyways. Outside of that, every now and then, this is also going to help us clean up some artifacts and enchantments, just like the Requisition Raid. So it's a lot of utility in general packed into the list. Just really cool stuff, man. I had a blast with this one. All right, enough rambling, huh? Hey, let me know what you would add or take out down in the comments, or at the very least, what should have made the honorable mentions. Okay, hey, I will see you in the next video.